two brothers younger than me. There was only one eye doctor in the whole state of Utah, Dr. Neer in Salt Lake. Then Utah wasn't more of a pioneer area then. And that doctor told him he had to be closed because he had to treat his eyes. His term was that he had to ripen the cataracts before he could do surgery. Told him it would be about a year. So we sold the home in Enterprise, little town west of Cedar City. Dad had a 160-acre homestead ranch up the canyon, had a few little cattle and horses, kept that, but somebody else took it over. We moved to Lehigh where he could be close to get to Salt Lake maybe once a month or so for examination. But the operation wasn't overly successful. He lost his sight in one eye completely. And the other, he probably only had 40–50% vision. So his ability to produce with a family was very limited. So my brother's just older than me, 2 years older. Didn't go beyond the 6th grade because of the work of the farm. The crops that we raised, the cash crop was sugar beets. And that takes early planting and ground preparation and late harvest. You leave sugar beets in the ground, as you probably know, as long as they'll grow. So the last of October, November, you're harvesting sugar. And then, of course, with the chores and the livestock. So he didn't get his school beyond 6th grade. I was able to continue, but very limited, because I had to be out early in the spring for ground preparation. And I was only about 14 years old. And in the fall, I was out topping sugar beets till in November. So I missed a lot of schooling. But they gave me a high school diploma. But you know, I ended up kind of a semi-church call taking over that Sarah in Orem. I left my own business. I had an oil distributing dealership in Provo. I had 2 trucks and a man working for me, an office girl. And I got called in by a stake rent and asked me to take that job. So I didn't feel I could turn it down. Not because of the opportunity. It was about a $2,000 a year cut. That was a lot of money back there in 1950. And took over that organization. But you know, the Lord blessed me. Like I said, I didn't consider myself an intellectual, and I'd had no experience in management. I'd been on a mission and was district president in a mission for a year. I guess I learned a little bit. But that organization, that large green building or a community project with the object in mind of bringing recreation and depression days, the theater and other things for the people. Depression time. Its book assets then was $82,000. Over the years, 30 years I was there. I built the first park in Orem. I was so successful principally in the theater operation that I bought apartment buildings a spa to increase our income, something that would bring us $4 to accomplish our purpose. And I found out that Bob Rice was going to move to Ormond, one of his chain spas built. So I worked with Bob Rice and his #1 man by the name of Williams. Ended up with Sarah building the spa on a net letting a lease to him. And having them take it over and operate it on the same standards as Sarah. No Sunday operation and other standards. Of course, Bob Rice was a good churchman. That earned Sarah over the 20-year lease over $1 million. And with the apartments, the income from that, and the theater operation, I was able to buy 12 different adjacent apartments, some of them homes, older homes, most of them. 4 homes I moved off the property, 4 I demolished. Built that beautiful Sarah Park. And that probably the best outdoor swimming pool in Mountain West at the time. Was outstanding. Operated the theater very successfully. Managed and directed the city recreation program which Sarah sponsored for the city. When I retired, Sarah's book assets was $2.25 million. Its appraised value of property was over $7 million because of appreciation. No debt, and $500,000 in the bank. I give the Lord credit. Excuse me, I didn't mean.
I'd love to hear it.
I'm embarrassed that I take your time to tell about myself.
I love it. These are stories that your grandkids and great-grandchildren are going to love hearing.
But you ask about my life and what contributed. I guess faithfulness in the church. I was over 10 years a counselor in the stake presidency. I was a counselor in the bishopric first. 1 week before I was 30 years old, I was called to be a counselor in the New Orleans stake presidency. So I was there over 10 years. Then the stake was divided again. And I was called to be the president of Orem Stake. I was president for over 13 years. And after release from that, I was old then, quite old. Retired from Sarah. I was called to be a patriarch. So I was acting patriarch for 19 years when we moved here. Then I wasn't reactivated. Then for, I guess, close to 10 years, I was a sealer at the Provo Temple. So it's been a wonderful life of service and activity, growth and development. Maybe my examples, my wife's love and examples, is what helped us raise our children so good.
I think so.
Yeah. Powerful teacher and example is.
How did you keep yourself so healthy for so long?
Well, I guess the Lord. Hard work and exercise and go to old form of eating. I don't have an answer. My wife's died, my dad died at 72 with a stroke. My father died at 72 with a stroke. My mother at 85 with a heart condition, which I inherited, but not as bad as hers. I have a, what they call a fibrillation. Got a pacemaker now. I've had for 10 years. You want to tell me all about yourself?